never had issues with your voice until now?
Well, I experienced an extreme loss a few years ago, and so I was experiencing like extreme grief, and I was like singing cathartically or like to kind of just because it was like soothing, but I wasn't really focused on, I was like very numb in my body, so I wasn't really like feeling into what I was doing, and so that was at the same time when I was like expanding into new styles. So I think I just kind of um, got into the routine of like unconsciously working with my voice rather than noticing like actually this doesn't feel good and being able to like separate that, because I think at the time just everything didn't feel good. Hello everybody and welcome back to A Whole World of Love. I'm Era of Love. Today we're going to be talking about, I wonder if you can hear my cat's eating. You might be able to, so.
Today we're talking about something kind of sad. So I wore a colorful outfit.
You're welcome. Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed last week's video, although I saw that some of you didn't. It's fine. If you didn't already like that video and you liked it, like you enjoyed it, like human-like you liked it, like you get what I mean. Please go hit like so that the internet gods know that you liked it. This is this video. This video. Today we're talking about how grief and loss and losing my mom has affected my singing voice. So if you're a singer and you're experiencing loss, I just want you to know that you're not alone, and these changes or these feelings that you may be feeling are something that other people feel too. This goes for other instruments as well, and really any stream of creativity for some of the things I'm going to discuss. Also for athletes or anyone that might enjoy a sport, really anyone just like being a human after loss. It could affect your job, it could affect so many things. But we're going to talk about what happened in my experience that no one told me about and maybe no one could have prepared me for, how it affected me and my passions, and hopefully give you a little bit of support if you're going through something similar, or help you understand if a friend might be going through something similar so that you can look out for signs of a similar experience and you can be there for a friend. Now this year, I feel like death and loss has definitely been a topic that more people than normal have been talking about and contemplating, as well as experiencing. But for me, I've experienced some losses throughout my life, but the biggest loss I experienced was 3 years ago today. Well, today when you'll be seeing this video. And that was the loss of my mom. I lost my mom at a time where the world was just going. They weren't thinking about death or loss. Some people were, of course, and I'll talk about how I found support after the loss. But the world itself was just turning and going. And it felt like I had no time to really experience the loss because I had to keep working and I had to keep going in many senses. So I want to talk about the physical aspects of grief and also how that affected me, but also my singing first. So grief can show up physically in many ways. For me, it was similar to the feeling of depression, which I had already experienced in my life. So part of that is extreme fatigue, muscle soreness and pain, just kind of an all-body ache all the time, as well as like a heartache and just like a pressure here in my heart and throat and back. It kind of just hurt to exist because I felt broken. I just felt broken and splintered into so many pieces, and My center was almost unknown. It was hard for me to physically breathe and feel collected in any way because I just wasn't. I just felt really broken. And so the physical aspect of that was literally feeling this pain, just pain in my body all the time. And as a singer, my body is my instrument. So obviously this is definitely going to have an effect. But this goes for, again, anything else where you're using your body. I think it takes an extra toll when it's something that normally feels good for you or is an outlet or a way for you to check in, a window into your spirit. But your body is just not able to relax. Your body is not able to let go into that activity because the grief is so heavy and you're carrying it with you all the time. Now this experience obviously may vary. Some people don't feel physical pain like that with grief, but I think a lot of people do. And this is something I really wasn't prepared for, and I wasn't prepared for what it would do to my voice, as well as the effects of me trying to push through that and keep singing. So as for the physical aspects, I really didn't see or feel any relief until I found an Alexander Method teacher in my area who was able to help me learn how to really let go and allow my body to trust gravity and trust the ground again and take a breath that felt good again. I'm extremely grateful for my Alexander Method teacher, Betty Chamberlain, who helped me feel that relief. So in many ways, singing for me is therapeutic, and it's even scientifically proven that singing is therapeutic and can affect your vagus nerve. So in many ways, I was turning to singing still for that therapeutic quality and for the love of it. But because I had so much tension and pain in my body, it didn't feel good to sing. It didn't feel good to do anything. It didn't feel good to wake up in the morning. It didn't feel good to go to work. It didn't feel good to do the things I loved. And part of this is emotional as well, because a lot of these things, let's talk about singing. Singing I learned how to do from my mom. So even this thing that I loved so much, that brought me so much joy, was now bringing me this entangled experience of joy and sadness, joy and grief, joy and loss and emptiness at the same time. And it was very confusing. But there was no way for me to untangle that. It just came with the experience of the loss. You know, singing brought me joy, and it came from the gift that my mom gave me as a little kid of learning to sing. It was really, really, really hard to teach singing. It was hard to keep singing myself and keep learning. Because it's something that we shared together. So sometimes I describe this loss as having to relearn my whole world of love. And it was like I was given a whole new world of love. Because in many ways, I grew more connected to my mom and was able to spiritually connect in ways that I'm so grateful for, that I do think many people might connect in these ways but just don't talk about it. It just feels so sacred to me. So one of these ways was my mom would visit me in people. She would visit me in Lisa's. Her name was Lisa. So she would send a stranger named Lisa who would shake my hand in the same exact way and look me deeply in my eyes and say, "Hi, I'm Lisa." And it would always be in moments where I felt really, really empty or really alone or confused or at a loss or scared. And Lisa would show up. So that's one way that I've connected with my mom after her passing. That's been magical. And I wouldn't trade this experience for anything because it is so special and so sacred to get to know her in this way. I'm sure I would trade it for more time, but at the same time, I just want to be grateful for what I do have. So one of these was on tour, which was really cool because my mom was a huge supporter of my music, which is another thing I want to transition to talking about. And that's something that made singing hard as well, because it's something that my mom really supported me on and was always excited to hear the next thing I was doing. So when I got hired to go on tour, I was really, again, feeling this mixed feeling of joy, but also sadness. Not being able to call my mom and tell her that I got this opportunity was really hard. But of course, you go on. You live to the fullest anyway. So I went, and it was really hard. It was scary. I was by myself with a group of people that I had just met, and it was really exciting, but it was also scary. And at one of the shows, after the show, someone came up to me and told me I did an amazing job, and they loved the performance, they loved the show, and they gave me a hug, and then they gave me a handshake, and sure enough, it was Elisa. These moments when I feel so scared and I feel so sad that I can't share these things with my mom in a tangible way, she always seems to show up and let me know that she is here, whether that's in my DNA and in my experience, but also in a spiritual sense, some way in her own consciousness, which I can't really speak on more than just saying that in those moments I know that it's her and that there's no doubt. And if you feel that way too, if you've had a loss and you've had spiritual encounters with animals or people or dreams or visions or sensations, they are real as real can be. That is a real experience. And just because our society doesn't hold space for it doesn't make it any less real. So I just want to make that very clear. And just validate any experience that you've had with spirit and with being touched by an ancestor or a loved one that you've lost. One thing that I did with my voice after losing my mom that I think created a lot of harm, but I didn't exactly realize I was doing at the time, was again singing with tension. So I mentioned before that I kept singing anyway because it was therapeutic, but I've learned recently, and I've been working with a teacher who told me if it hurts at all, just stop, don't sing, give it time to rest.
Tension it's tugging. Vibrating is normal, but if you're gonna know something's not right, you know right away, no, this isn't okay. I'm pushing too much. When that happens, we're still working on your body recognizing how to relax. So when that happens, do a lip trill with no sound. So visualize the sound, but don't give any sound.
She's a fantastic singer, and she even said that she was only singing for 5 minutes a day for a period of time because she had tension.
There was a time where I had to stop singing entirely. I just would not. I just couldn't do it. So as singers, it affects our throat. Our emotions just destroy us. So yeah.
This is the safest way to navigate if you have tension, even though it's really hard and sometimes can be even scarier to not sing or not do that thing that you love through a loss or through a grieving process. But finding a way to navigate that safely, having support, bringing in someone who has experience with loss or grief, or can help you relax your body. Like I was talking about my Alexander Method teacher, as well as I was really, really blessed to have support from my spiritual teacher, Adriana Rizzolo, at the time, as well as I was extremely blessed to have support to go to a therapist, and just call in as much support as you can. But especially if you have these physical symptoms of loss and grief that are creating tension in your body, and you're a singer or an athlete, or you're using your body in some way, trying to be as aware as you can, or bringing in the support that you need so someone else can watch you and help you. Because that was kind of the challenge, is I was also really numb. As much as I was in physical pain, I was very numb and not very checked in all the time to how I was feeling or the sensations in my body, because they just felt all new to me. I wasn't really able to notice and stop myself when I was pushing too far and causing harm. I even went as far as trying to learn things like whistle tone and songs that were out of my range, and I was listening to a lot of pop music almost as a way to just escape into something that was lighthearted, silly, or meaningless, because my life had like too much meaning or something. I don't know. It was just like things were too real and too heavy and too painful. And it also really felt like there weren't a lot of songs about loss that I could find that were helpful to me. So I ended up writing a song called All I'm Feeling, which is coming out pretty soon. It was really at a time when I just felt I didn't have the words. And the one song that got me through was the song Changes by Charles Bradley. It's a Black Sabbath cover. But that song, his version of it is so powerful. He does this amazing live version that I'll link below, where he talks about his mother loss and how this song got him through. So I was just really grateful to have that one song. But I didn't find that song for a while, at least in my memory. That's what I can remember. So I was kind of just turning to these like extremely lighthearted songs that had nothing to do with my experience as a way to cope. And then I ended up pushing my voice even further beyond what it needed, which was probably just rest. Rest and support. But for a little while after the loss, I didn't really have much financial stability or support. I had to kind of gather that in, and I'm so grateful that I was able to. But yeah, so I was just doing what I knew how to do best, which was sing, and tried to get through the experience. So I really just wanted to share my experience in this video and validate anyone else's experience with physical symptoms of grief that you might be carrying with you throughout your day, to your job, and into your passions. Validate this experience of joy being intermingled with sadness, loss, emptiness, confusion. Let you know that you're not alone and that I'm here to support you also. If you're at a time where you're trying to call in more support, I've got you. I'm here. There are others as well. I'm happy to help you navigate and find someone that can really support you. I also am teaching creative healing sessions over Zoom. If you'd like to book a session, and it doesn't have to be based in grief, but if you are experiencing grief, I'm happy to hold space for you and make sure that your creative process feels safe, your body feels safe, and you're able to turn to something, whether that's art or music or moving your body in some way, movement, your dreams, writing, whatever it may be that can connect you to yourself and help you understand and process this experience. I would be so happy and feel so blessed to be able to hold you through an experience like that. So if that is something that you're interested in, check out my creative healing session tab on awholeworldoflove.com and send me an email so that we can chat about how I can support you. I also use a sliding scale. So if I can support you and you need more support financially, just let me know, and I'm happy to work with that too. I am a certified yoga instructor, as well as someone who's experienced loss and an artist. So this is something I'm really passionate about, is being able to hold space for others, to find ways to feel safe expressing themselves through hard times and loss and grief, as well as just life and finding our way. So I'd be honored to hold that space for you. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me for this talk. Leave a comment below with something that moved you today in this video, or something that you can relate to that maybe you felt alone on before. I would love to hear your experience, or you can send me a private message if you're not comfortable sharing that publicly. Please like this video and share it with your friends if you think that they might benefit from it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we will be talking about the amazing Billie Holiday. Today I have my Billy Joel, The Stranger, for my mom. This is one of her favorite albums, and it was her personal album. So I wanted to put that up today. I will be rotating my record collection to be relevant to each video, so be sure to look out for that Easter egg. I just want to say, I love you, Mom. I know you're here with me. And if anyone else is experiencing loss or mother loss or grief, you're not alone, and it is the most human experience in the whole world. So make sure that you have support, you have community around you, you have people who do understand the loss. If you can find people that have had that same loss, I think that's really, really important. And that's it. You're not alone. Have a beautiful day. Subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. Follow me on Instagram at A Whole World of Love. Follow me on Twitter at A Whole World of L1. And I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.